My name's Joel Sherman. I'm with Evan Schwartzmiller, and this is the Invent Podcast. On episode 1 of the Invent Podcast, Evan and I discuss our experience running a half marathon last month. We also talk a little bit about our upcoming 100-mile ultramarathon that we are going to complete in November. Remember, if you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe. All right, so episode 1, We're here. We just ran the half marathon. Dude, it was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We tried to film the podcast a few times, but we're finally getting to it for real now. And now that we've had some time to reflect on the half marathon, I'd like to just jump right in and start talking about that. So we'll start with the morning.
Yeah, the morning.
The weird morning. We woke up at about 2:45. I did. We were supposed to wake up at 4 and then leave here at 4:30.
Yeah, the race was about 2 hours away.
Yeah, so the race started at 8. And it was 2 hours away. We were going to get there at 7. It was 2.5 hours. So we woke up at...
And we stopped for gas.
Yeah, we were gonna get up at 4:30. But there was a lot of ruckus going on where we were living, so we had a pretty early start. I woke up at about 2:45 and just stayed awake. I stretched, I showered, I ate a little bit. And that wasn't, it wasn't a big deal.
It was weird because when I was up at 2:30 in the morning, I was like, this is going to be terrible. This is like ruin the race, ruin the day. But it really didn't.
Not at all.
I wasn't too affected by it.
And that would normally upset me and irritate me, like beyond words can describe. But like, I was fine. It didn't bother me too much. I mean, it was kind of annoying as it was, but we moved on.
Yeah.
And I got an early start. I did what I had to do. I think it was probably better. I don't think that the lack of sleep, where we get like 3 or 4 hours, affected me much. I was just more tired after the race.
Yeah.
I needed sleep to recover from that.
But I mean, we would have had to have done that.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
if we had gotten full 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
We still would have had to.
Yeah, it was.
Sleep.
When was the race? January 19th.
Yeah, January 19th.
It was in January. That was
been a while.
Almost a month.
Yeah.
Holy cow. But yeah. So it was way back in January. It was pretty cold.
Yeah, it was still cold, really cold.
What do you think it was, like 30 something degrees?
At the base of the mountain.
Yeah, it was close to 40, probably like 35 to 40 degrees. I wouldn't say 40.
No, it was
definitely in the 30s.
Yeah, it was pretty cold.
And there was people wearing shorts and tank tops.
The one guy was wearing
the competitive guys.
The race shorts, like cross country race.
Yeah,
like shorty shorts kind of thing.
The competitive guys going for a time. Excuse me. Apparently they finished really fast. I didn't see the correct times and I didn't look it up. But
they have to have the results up.
Yeah. So. I couldn't find it when I looked for them, but so we started at 8. And Evan and I planned on running the whole race together. We were just going to stay together, jog it out, because we're training for a 100-mile ultra marathon. So the half marathon wasn't like too big of an issue for us, and it wasn't something we were really scared of. But we were just going to jog it out, stay together the whole time. But about 1.5 miles in, we were running up the mountain. So the race we ran was called the Sandman Half Marathon Extreme.
Yeah. And
the first 1.5 miles, after about 1.5 miles, you start a 1,000-foot climb over the course of 4 miles.
Yeah, this wasn't a regular half-mile course. It
was super extreme. It was very steep.
Yeah.
It wasn't super dangerous. It was a wide road.
Yeah, we weren't like running on paths.
It was just very difficult,
which I was worried about. I was worried we'd get up on the top of the mountain and we'd be running on like game trails. But we weren't. It was pretty substantial paths and stuff. So,
So about 1.5 miles in, we started the climb.
Yeah.
Evan kept telling me, he was like, God, my legs, like they're actually hurting.
Yeah.
And he attributed that to the leggings he was wearing.
So I don't wear leggings when I train usually. I never have. I ran cross country all 4 years of high school, and
I have
unless it was like extremely cold, I wore them, but I tried my best not to. And I think when I wore them and I was running up the mountain, they were like super tight. And that just, I don't know. A lot of it was mental, but at the same time, I knew it hurt. Like, it hurt.
When I train, I do wear tights. Like every time we go on a cold run, I wear like leggings underneath my shorts, and so for me it was nothing new. And I know the sensation he's talking about. It kind of tightens up and it's very compressed at first until like you start smoothing out, and then your body gets used to it. Yeah. I guess like the nerve sensories, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They get used to that stimulation, or stimulus. But So he's like, "Go ahead. You gotta go."
I'll drop back for a little bit. That's what I said.
Yeah, because he kept like phasing in and out of walking, and I was like, "Come on."
I was slithering up the mountain.
Yeah.
It was bad. I was like,
so
one foot in front of the other.
What we planned to be like 2 hours, 2.5 hours of running together, turned into pretty much the whole time we were alone.
Yeah, 2 hours because like 50. We were only together for at most the first 15 minutes.
It was definitely less than that.
Yeah, probably closer to like 10.
Yeah. So, the journey to the top was a lonely one.
Yeah,
for sure. The majority of the mountain we climbed separate, and I didn't see Evan till the very end of the race. He finished 5 minutes. Oh, true. We passed each other. Yeah, it was like an up then back down type of thing.
Mm-hmm. So we crossed each other's paths, but that was like a 10-second interaction.
Yeah. And the one thing about the race, about the mountain, it was like, I think the guy at the top said it was 12 degrees colder
12.
on the top of the mountain than at the bottom. Which, like, I mean, I knew it was colder, but, like, that is a huge margin of, like, difference, I guess you'd say. And, like, because when I was running up the mountain and it started getting colder, I had, like, really bad feelings. I was like, dude, this is bad ASMR.
Yeah, it was. This is like the sounds of the forest and everything.
Yeah, and, like,
the snow. Well, that was another thing. There was no snow at the bottom.
Yeah,
like, there was no snow, no ice or anything. And then it wasn't until we got on the fire access road, this, because that wound up to the top, that there was like ice. It started as frost.
Yeah,
and then turned to
just
like
a little
salt.
bit here and there.
And then
it turned to the whole road.
At first, it was
covered.
just patches, like puddles of ice or whatever. But then it turned into the whole road. And it was funny because it was gradual, but at the same time, it was like very fast. Over the course of a mile, it was.
Yeah. And like, it messed me up running.
Especially down.
I think going up more because like when your foot planted.
Yeah.
It was, and they slid. It was super tiring on the calves to try to keep like, because you had no.
Well, I had to strategize. I was trying to like stick to the outside edge where it was still rocky.
Yeah, I was running in the. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, because in the middle where there's like the tire, like that's where I was sitting, where all the ice was sitting. So
and for me, like going down, people were flying, dude. I was like, you guys are gonna slip and die.
Yeah, there was this one gentleman. He wasn't significantly older, but he was definitely older. But he had been behind me the whole time. I hadn't seen him. And then we were about halfway down the access road, and he comes flying past me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was going what I felt I was comfortable at.
Mm-hmm.
I probably a little faster than what I was comfortable at, just because we're going down the mountain. But he flew past me. I never saw him again. But sorry, I just hit the mic. But he just flew past me, and I couldn't tell. I was like, should I do that? But at this, I was like, no, I'm not risking it. Because one bad step and he was done.
Yeah,
and
the knee's gone.
Did you notice? I don't know if you noticed, but there were a few parts of the road that it was like a cliff.
Yeah, dude. If you slipped there,
yeah. I mean, you'd have to be standing on the edge. You'd be done.
When it got a little narrower there, and that was where the rocks were. So if you wanted to get a good traction on your run,
you had to go to the edge. But that was also where you could slip and fall 1,000 feet.
Yeah, but
I mean,
when I was going down, people were just passing me one after another, and there was this one. I talked to her for a little bit. I don't remember her name. It was after the race. She said a few things to me, but when she passed me, she was like, "Come on, pace with me," and I was like, "No, like, I was like, I'm flying as it is. I need rest."
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like mind your own business, lady.
Yeah, no. But after that hill, the up and down,
the mountain.
Yeah. Sorry, it was not a hill. It was a mountain we climbed. After the mountain, it was just rolling hills.
Yeah,
to the very end,
which was nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. There was towards the end, the inclines were getting pretty rough. Like,
well, that last one before the
dude, I was walking.
I was
like, if I walked, I would have been going faster than the jog. Yeah. Like, seriously.
So this was the second to last mile. We're almost done.
Yeah.
Like you could like see the beginning of the town that the race was finishing in. But before you got there was this massive hill. This was a hill. What'd you say, like 100?
Are you talking about right after the bridge?
Right before the bridge.
Coming out of the sewage plant thing?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, right after that.
Yeah.
You went around the bend.
Dude.
Then you went up. It was kind of got narrow.
Yeah.
That was almost worse than the entire mountain. Because I knew I was close, and I was like, I don't know.
For me, my watch was wrong. So I looked down. A half marathon is 13.1 miles.
Yeah.
And So I set my watch to 13.1 miles at the beginning of the race to track it. And it started buzzing, and I looked down, and it said I finished. And then I looked up, and I was like, dude, the town where the finish line is at least 2 more miles away.
Yeah.
And then when I finished the race, my watch read 16.3 or something like that.
So you were almost 3 miles. Yeah.
Off. So, like, I was like, dude, I'm going to finish this race so fast. Like, I was, like, looking at the time when I was going, and I was like, I'm a competitive runner, dude. Like, this is an Olympic time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But
big letdown. I mean, it was kind of detrimental, dude. I was like running up the hill, and I was like, I'm almost done.
And then you got.
And then no, I wasn't even close. I was at least 3 miles. I was 2 or 3 miles away.
Yeah. It was. I didn't look at my watch actually
at all.
Well, I looked when it hit 10,000 steps. That was very early on.
Yeah.
Just because I get
it
buzzes a lot. But yeah, running through that sewage treatment plant, I knew it was a bad sign because I got like a whiff of it.
Yeah,
probably like half a mile away.
The breeze brought it.
But then,
and I was like, uh-oh.
But I thought it was agriculture because we were in a very rural area. There were a lot of farms and stuff, so I just thought it was that. But then I saw a sign. It was like whatever county water treatment facility, and I was like, okay, this is gonna suck.
It was so bad. It was like I wasn't short of breath. You know, we've been running for a long time. I was fine breathing, but like, if you're not getting quality air into your lungs, dude, it is not fun.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, is this sanitary for me to breathe? I was like, there's like probably bacteria in the air.
Yeah,
considering how thick the smell was.
It wasn't that bad. It was kind of a short distance, but
that was like 4 miles from the end.
Yeah,
about 4 miles, 3 miles or so.
Yeah,
sorry, but yeah, the treatment plant was bad. But then right before you got to that, you were up on a hill and you could see the town. The town has a water tower.
It was a pretty nice view.
Yeah. All of it was pretty. That's the thing. Even the mountain, looking out, you could see like across the valley. It was very, very pretty.
That's the one thing I wish I would have enjoyed more because I didn't really realize it until after I ran. I was like, man, that was a very beautiful run. It was all through. It was like a countryside. There were rolling hills after the mountain. Like even at the top of the mountain was very beautiful. And going back to the top of the mountain, you know how there was the aid station there?
Mm-hmm.
So when you do races, there's aid stations scattered throughout to give you cups of water and Gatorade and sometimes food.
Yeah.
And the one at the top of the mountain was the only one in the race that had food. And I took a granola bar. And
did you eat it?
Let me get to that.
Yeah,
I opened it and I took a bite and I swallowed it. And then, because when I got to the top of the mountain, I was like top 10. Like,
yeah, you were. Top 10.
I was like up out of 100 racers.
Yeah.
Or no, it was probably like
close to.
It was
at least 150
racers.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so yeah, so I was like top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was up there, dude, and I was like, and because my watch was fast, like how many miles ahead I was, probably like 2 at the time.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, I'm going to finish this race in a good place.
Yeah,
like, and I've never, the farthest distance I've run is a 5K, like, and it was like a turkey trot, so it wasn't even competitive. And so I took a bite of the granola bar. And I was like, okay, this is fine. And I looked down, and there was like a flood of people coming up. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to, like, I'm a competitive guy. I want to stay ahead. So I threw the wrapper out in the trash up there. Yeah. I took a shot of Gatorade.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Quick.
And then
shot of Gatorade.
And then I started running down the mountain, and I had the granola bar. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my thinking here was I was thinking 2 things here. I'm going to keep my position, and this is good training because for the 100-mile ultramarathon we're going to do, we're going to have to consume calories as we run.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'll just get a little bit of, some experience figuring out how to...
Something in your stomach while you race.
Yeah. So, and I was running down that mountain, and I took because I can finish this granola bar in 3 bites, okay? So I took the second bite out of 3, and I was chewing it. I was like, God, this is awful. And I swallowed a little bit of it, and I still had some in my mouth. I was chewing it, and my stomach just turned, dude. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. So I was like, no way. And I looked around behind me to see if anybody was like watching. I chucked the other third of the granola bar and I just spit all of the other stuff. Yeah, I couldn't.
You didn't? Yeah, I didn't know about that until just now.
And like my stomach was upset from the first bite that I took. Yeah. Like when I was at the top of the mountain, and like I don't know why. I mean, I didn't really eat what I know. Like I had a Velveeta. I had like donut holes. Dude,
yeah, we had
on
the
way
donut.
down. That was a stupid idea.
Yeah,
because I don't normally eat like that, and I guess it just wasn't sitting well in my stomach.
Yeah, you're right. We did have those before.
And when you run that distance, your stomach, like, it sloshes around a lot, and you can get an upset stomach. At least
Easily.
I do from running.
Yeah, and because I ran before, I knew that if I had something during the race, my stomach would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something we're gonna need to tackle that.
Dude, I felt awful when I was after the race,
and that's a granola bar. Like that was something.
Yeah,
you said 3 bites.
Yeah,
and that, and it does have that impact.
Yeah, and like after the race, my stomach hurt so bad. I didn't know if I needed to throw up. With like, if my stomach was upset, like it felt like my stomach was literally upside down in my body.
Yeah, I had that same feeling. But I didn't eat the granola bar.
It was rough. Don't eat the granola bar.
I had the Gatorade though.
Yeah, the Gatorade was fine.
Actually, the first station I had water. They were Gatorade or water because they asked you right as you came up. They go Gatorade or water, and I was like, oh, I'll have the water. And then when I got to the next one, I went Gatorade.
Yeah, mine was
some flavor.
Mine was I had water. There was 5 aid stations. I had water at 2 of them and Gatorade at 1 of them, and then 2 of the other ones I didn't take water because I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was fine. Like the liquid went down fine. The Gatorade was fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was like sometimes if you drink, if you drink a lot, obviously that'll do something. But
yeah,
I thought I was like, this Gatorade's gonna upset my stomach, but it didn't. It really didn't.
When I was younger, I had when I was playing soccer when I was like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Like when I was super young, I brought Gatorade to practice instead of water, and I was drinking it. And at the end of practice, I was like, dude, I don't remember if I threw up or not. Like,
but it was a
the
mistake.
memory is vague, but like I either threw up or I got super close to throwing up. So like I've never had Gatorade at competitive events. Like I'd need if I drink Gatorade when I'm competing, I chug like the amount of liquid I drink, 3/4 of it is water and the other quarter is Gatorade.
Yeah.
Like I can't have that much. Which I know it's like beneficial for you, but I cannot replace water with Gatorade.
No, it
doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
One thing that I wanted to talk about with you though is since we were apart the whole time, it's like what was your thought process through the race? Like what were you thinking about? What was going through your head? And even now that you have time to reflect on it, you know what I mean?
Because we were alone, I was looking a lot more at the scenery around than I would have. Like if we had been talking, we would have been talking, and I really wouldn't have looked around. So I was definitely looking at like the scenery more, like the streams and stuff like that. We passed like 3 or 4 streams.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the course map now, and it looks like there's 4 stream crossings and 1 river crossing.
Yeah.
So
a few bridges we went on.
Yeah, there was some pretty substantial bridges.
Sewage plant, sewage beneath us.
Yeah, no, we didn't run through. Yeah, we didn't run through the sewage water, but we definitely smell it. But yeah, I was thinking about the scenery, and I tried not to count the miles. That was one thing. I was like, I can't get too caught up in the distances.
I did the math, dude.
I couldn't.
Never do the math.
Never do the math.
Never do the math.
I knew that for cross country. Well, for a 5K, which is what you run in high school cross country.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, it's 3 miles, give or take. So
it's hard for me not to do that with anything that involves distance.
Yeah.
Like when I played soccer, it's a completely different game. You don't count the time.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're getting down to the close minutes and you're behind. Yeah. But like when I swam, like if I was swimming like a 200, the 200 is the single worst event you can ever swim. I promise. Like, because it's a distance to where you can't sprint the whole thing, but you can't.
It's like an 800 in track.
Yeah, but you can't. You can't like pace it because then it's too slow.
That's exactly how the 800 is.
You dread every single flip turn in the pool. Like it's like there's 1 lap, there's 2 laps, there's 3, and like it just takes so long, and like it's so difficult. And when you get out, you're just completely drained. Like, and so for me, I'm gonna always be counting and doing the math of the laps. I mean, it really gets in my head. Like I feel the effects of it, but there's just no other way. Like I can't be like, no, don't think about it, because then I'll think about it. For me, when I was running, I was thinking of like I actually wrote like like to motivate myself because I was alone. I was like writing and like doing like a speech in my head, and I don't remember like the gist of it at all. Now it was like something about whatever you hear on YouTube, stuff like that. So I did that. I was thinking about where you were. Because I didn't know the distance. I was trying to figure out how far I had left in the race, and I was like, dude, is this thing gonna be over or not?
I think I probably asked myself like 8 times, is this thing almost over? Like literally, I was like, is this thing almost over? This guy passed me, and this was probably about mile 10, So like, we were 3 miles. We were pretty close to being done, and he passed me, and he was like, "Good job, keep it up." He was like, "We're almost done," and then I thought, I was like, "Are we? Like, are we actually almost done?" Because I've been thinking I'm almost done for the past 2 miles.
Yeah, some guy said that to me. So there's a guy that finished and then he ran back through the race.
Yeah,
I think maybe he was with somebody.
He was with that other gentleman. He was with that other guy.
And when I was running past, he said, "Good job, son. You're gonna finish with a good time." Like word for word.
That's the same. He said the same guy said the same thing to me.
And like,
so
I was like, okay. I mean,
yeah, I guess.
I don't know what 2 hours and I had 10 minutes and yours was 15.
I was 5 minutes.
That's
behind
not bad.
Not bad at all.
Especially for like the incline that we had to run.
That's the thing. Even for a regular half marathon, that's not terrible.
Not bad.
That's not bad. But you got to remember, this wasn't.
My goal was under 2 hours, but like it does. Like I don't think about that. It doesn't sit with me. Like I didn't achieve it.
No, because we had no idea that the mountain
with the mountain. Those miles were like 12-minute miles because it was just such an incline. Like it was very hard.
Yeah,
to get a good time.
My watch was reading between 10 and 12-minute miles up the mountain.
And even like running down, it didn't make up much time because I was slowing myself. I was hurting my knees. I've had bad knees like since high school, since soccer. So that was pretty difficult going downhill for me. But other than that,
I got them under 10. I was hitting like 8:40s
downhill.
Downhill.
Yeah, I was around 8 downhill.
Yeah.
I think that's where I kind of got more ahead of you, is the downhill. Because, like, I wasn't... over the course of the race, my margin, like, my speed wasn't that much greater than yours.
Yeah.
Because it was only a 5-minute difference at the end.
Yeah, which is
less than a minute a mile.
Yeah. That's we were half a mile apart at our paces.
Yeah. So I was running like 25 seconds faster than you per mile.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Not bad.
Not bad at all. But
definitely with the marathon we're going to be running in June or July, we should stick together. Like
and not have a mountain in the race.
Yeah.
And I won't wear leggings unless it's.
Yeah, we'll do that in the city. We'll just do
that,
like a pavement.
I was just about to ask you that. Excuse me. If we had to do this again, but it was in a city, like, do you think how would that change?
Half marathon in a city? Mm-hmm. It would be way easier.
You think easier?
Absolutely, dude. All we do is run on pavement.
Yeah, but
it'd be way easier. And the thing is, after I finish,
I know Pittsburgh has like half marathons and marathons, but they run like through like downtown.
Yeah, so it's not. We run on the pavement here. And
it'd be flat, but I don't know. How would I do mentally? Because like it's boring. It'd be so boring.
Well, we don't get much off-road training. I mean, we need to work on that a lot because for the 100 mile, it's going to be a lot of hiking and stuff. But, so after the race, the half marathon, I was like, dude, like I hate running. Like, why did I do this? And the whole point of it. So when I started training for the 100, the half marathon was a part of our ultra marathon training. When I decided I wanted to do the 100-mile marathon,
100-mile race,
dude. Yeah, I'm getting confused. The 100-mile race. I was like watching YouTube videos on ultra marathons, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna do this. Like,
there were some really good ones on YouTube.
I gotta do this once in my life. Yeah, the documentaries and stuff we were watching, and Evan, he ran track and cross country, mainly cross country in high school, and I had no background in running, so I was like, okay, I'll do it. I like doing things that aren't any fun, and Evan likes running, so I asked him. He was like, yeah, like he was so down for it.
Yeah.
So, but after this half marathon, I was like, dude, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this? This is not fun. And then we got back, and like yesterday, Evan and I were talking about it, and I was like, I would do that again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's the thing. After like the time has elapsed, I would do it again.
100%.
But the day after, no
chance,
no
dude.
way.
I'd kiss you before.
Yeah,
dude, I went back there.
Yeah, that was not
the day after. But now,
I would do it again.
Absolutely, no doubt. I would drive right now and run it.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, it was fun. It was looking back. It was fun.
It was very fun. I had a great time.
Yeah, I had a great time. I was happy even during the race when we got back into town.
Yeah,
and like I couldn't hear people, but there was like cars and like people. I was like, okay, I'm close. I'm within like a mile. Mm-hmm. Once I knew I was within a mile, because there were those signs.
Yeah.
That were like turn this way, because we kind of wound through like the town a little bit.
You turned on the jet engines? 'Cause that's what I did.
Yeah, I didn't let anyone pass me. This lady was coming up. I was like, no, you're not passing me.
So many people passed me towards the end. You know how I said I was like top 10 at the top of the mountain? I finished like 17th.
Yeah.
15th or 17th, which isn't like
I finished like 28th, I think.
28th?
Yeah, 30. It was.
Oh, then I just lied.
Why?
If you finished 28th, I finished 2 people before you.
2?
2.
Oh, well, I have no basis on that. That was a guess. So you think you? I was just guessing.
I don't know.
There's only 2 people.
We have not for the life of us been able to find.
I'm currently looking.
The results.
They have like the 2011, 2012 results.
Yeah, I found those when I looked as well.
Okay. Well, it doesn't
matter.
Yeah,
I'm
not worried about the place or even the time per se as much, but it would be nice to know exactly where we stood for our first race.
We know our times. We got the distance in. We know how we
got
felt.
Our medals.
Yeah, we got our medals.
They look good.
Did your mom?
Yeah, that was the package.
Yeah, we got like medals for completing it and T-shirts.
Yeah, the T-shirts are nice. I like them. But overall, great experience.
Great experience.
I thought it was great.
We know how we need to tackle the rest of our training.
It's a good starting point because 100 miles is such a daunting thing,
and it's such a different. Yeah. It's not a half marathon. It's not a marathon.
It's 100.
It's 100 miles.
Yeah,
and there's so many things that go into it. Like, you literally might wake up with a little bit of a stuffy nose and not be able to finish the 100 miles because of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it'll just get worse. And, like, there's a lot of fear and adrenaline and things that are out of our control. But we just got to become as prepared as possible.
Because the more prepared you are, not the easy. Because it will not be easy no matter what.
I think it'll be fine, though, with me and you doing it. Like, we're running it together. So we can hold each other accountable. Yeah. And that's one thing. Like, I'm 100% sure if I set out to do this 100-mile alone, I wouldn't be able to.
If I was out there on my own, I would not be finishing the race.
Yeah, I might get to like the marathon, but
maybe. But even then, yeah, at the first sign of difficulty, I would not break down, but I'd be like, okay, like this
sucks.
Because you start thinking about it like in your head, like, oh, this is terrible, this sucks. Like, like what can I do to get out of it? Whereas if you had someone, you can say, hey, this is going on, this is how I feel, and then you could, you got to talk about it. I know that sounds like cheesy, but just talk about it.
Yeah, and like
my knee.
If you're falling behind, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. Same way with you.
Yeah. Which I hope we don't ever have it's like a super low moment at the same time.
Because then it's just like we're both done.
Yeah.
We both tap out.
Yeah. But because the majority of this, so we'll get there Saturday morning. We'll run to Saturday night. We'll run through Saturday night to Sunday morning, and then we'll finish Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening.
Yeah.
There's a 36-hour cutoff mark, but I don't know if it'll take us that long.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I mean, I imagine it will. There's a lot to go. Like, we're gonna walk and hike a lot.
That's what I'm excited for. I'm excited for that part.
Just getting the distance.
Getting the hiking aspect of it is gonna be. Yeah. I think that's gonna be the best part.
We're gonna have a lot of supportive people there, so it'll be fun. I hope we can film it and end up making the video.
Yeah, that's
one of our goals is to film our day there and then do some B-roll from training here and there, and then edit together like a nice, like kind of a small documentary type of thing.
Yeah. Just kind of documenting our race experience.
Yeah, more
and the lead up to the race.
Honestly, it's probably for me. It's more of something that I can always go and look back at.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even show friends and family.
Yeah, I don't care if it's easy. I mean, it'd be cool if it was like a big thing, but that's not really why we're doing that.
But
yeah.
With the 100-mile race, we decided we were going to do that. Like a few months ago now, right?
In September.
Yeah.
October.
So that was a while
we
ago.
decided in September, and then we started training at the end of October, I believe.
So we've been going at it for a little while now.
Yeah.
So
a lot of running. We've put in a lot of miles
already. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I ran cross country and track, so I'm used to the mileage, but it's different training.
Yeah. And I think there's 1,150 more miles left that we're gonna run before we even do the race.
That's true. But yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of miles left. A lot of miles. It's amazing what the human body can do.
Yeah. That's what I'm super excited about. I'm excited to get to the point where I would like literally want to die, and then like I get past that, and when I finish, I'll be at like the highest emotional state of my life, like the endorphin high.
Yeah.
That's just I don't know.
We'll see.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're gonna call it there. We're at the 30-minute mark. One thing that we're going to want to do at the end of every episode is leave you guys with a quote. So we're going to say, in other words, I just wanted to linger with the audience at the end of the thing.
Yeah.
So this
quote, something to leave you with, something to think about.
If you enjoy the if you enjoy the podcast, don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media. This week's quote is by Brian Tracy, and it is, "There are no limits to what you can accomplish except the limits you place on your own thinking."